Who is this actually good for, who should skip it, and is it worth the price for normal everyday buyers? If you're standing in your backyard wondering whether a 406000 BTU digital pool heater will actually keep your water warm without blowing your budget, you're not alone. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The hesitation most homeowners feel isn't about the headline number 406 kBTU sounds impressive but about the real-world trade-offs, how it fits into an existing gas line, whether the ignition system will keep firing in changing weather, and if the overall cost makes sense compared to a smaller unit or a completely different heating approach. Let's start with the kind of situation where the Raypak 406000 BTU heater really shines. Imagine you have a medium-sized in-ground pool, around 1,530 feet, located in a climate that swings between mild spring chills and hot summer days. You've already got natural gas service, but you occasionally hear the hiss of the line and worry about efficiency. In this scenario, the sized-up 406 kBTU unit provides enough capacity to bring the water up to a comfortable 80°F even when the outside temperature drops into the 50s. The digital electronic ignition means the pilot only lights when the main burner is calling for heat, which cuts down on wasted gas that a traditional standing pilot would consume. For a family that likes to swim after school or a couple that enjoys evening dips, that on-demand readiness can be a game-changer. Who should buy this heater? First, any pool owner who already has a natural gas line and wants a single-stage heater that can handle a larger surface area without constantly cycling on and off. The ProTek Shield module, which is designed to guard the heat exchanger, adds a layer of longevity that makes sense for anyone planning to run the heater season after season. If you live in an area with a lot of rain, snow, or salty air, the spacage material claim meaning the unit cools down quickly after you shut it off helps avoid residual heat buildup that can accelerate corrosion. Homeowners who value low-maintenance operation will also appreciate the intermittent spark ignition safety controls. Because the pilot only comes on when needed, you're less likely to stumble across a constantly flickering flame that can be a nuisance when you're not using the pool. Now, who should skip it? If your pool is on the smaller side, say a kiddie pool or a hot tub that holds less than 5,000 gal, you're probably paying for more capacity than you'll ever use. In that case, a 150,000 BTU or 250,000 BTU model would be more cost-effective both in purchase price and in the amount of gas required to run it. The same logic applies to folks who live in consistently warm climates where the pool never drops below 70°F. A heater of this size can be overkill, and the extra BTU rating translates directly into a higher upfront cost. There's also a practical downside that hides behind the specs. The unit is built for durability, but that also means it's heavier and bulkier than lower-rated models. Installation typically requires a professional who can manage the gas line, ensure proper venting, and mount the heater on a sturdy base. If you're a DI enthusiast hoping to bolt the heater yourself, you might run into unexpected labor costs that push the total expense well beyond the sticker price. In addition, because the heater uses natural gas, you're tied to the price fluctuations of the utility. For owners who only have propane or who are in a region where natural gas is prohibitively expensive, the operating cost could erode the perceived savings from the efficient ignition system. Another real-world consideration is the temperature swing you can actually expect. On a crisp fall evening, the digital ignition will fire up quickly, but the water column's thermal mass will still lag. Users have reported that it can take 12 hours for a 15-foot pool to reach the target temperature after the heater turns on. That's not a flaw, it's physics, but it does mean you need to plan ahead if you're aiming for a sudden warm-up before a night swim. For a casual swimmer who just wants a comfortably warm pool most evenings, that delay is negligible. For someone who expects instant heat, a heat pump might be a better fit, even though a heat pump generally has a lower BTU rating. The ProTek Shield module's promise of extended heat exchanger life is more than a marketing line when you think about the typical pool heating cycle. A heat exchanger that can survive the seasonal expansion and contraction of metal without cracking saves you from a potentially pricey replacement that would otherwise occur every few years. While I haven't seen a specific lifespan figure quoted, the fact that Raypak built a dedicated protection module suggests they expect the unit to sit idle for months at a time and still come back to life without degradation. If you're the type of homeowner who leaves the pool uncovered during winter, that extra protection could be the difference between a smooth start to summer and a repair bill. On the flip side, the heater's spaceage material claim meaning.